Hi there, this is Chaplain Rachel with another Monday Motivator. Today we're going over our very last love the verb attribute, and that attribute is commitment. Now, commitment can be a really weighty word because it means to be fully devoted to something. And we kind of live in a culture right now where we don't really want to be fully devoted to anything, right? We live in a culture where we like to have options. We like to know what's going to be happening. You know, if something better is going to come along, then I don't want to commit too soon to something or even to someone. I want to see how things play out. But what happens is when we're not fully committed to something and we kind of give into this idea of, well, maybe I'll do this later. Maybe I'll do that later. I got to see how things pan out. I think a lot of times we do that because we have so many options. And then if we know that if we say yes to one thing and be devoted to one thing, then we're kind of missing out on all the other options or possibilities that may come along later. But when we decide to be fully devoted to a thing or to a person, man, there is such beautiful growth that can happen in those places, because we're saying it doesn't matter how difficult it may get, or if we need to work through some conflict, or even if things seem challenging, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to be a person where my yes means yes and my no means no. And I find that when we are a person of commitment, then we can also be people who are dependable, people that other people can count on and look to. And I think that being dependable is a really beautiful gift that we can offer people, especially in a culture that seems to say, well, maybe, until something better comes along. Now, right, there are circumstances that come up, or there are emergencies that happen, or there are situations where we need to break off a commitment. Maybe it's not healthy to be in that commitment anymore, or due to an emergency, we just can't do the things that we said that we were going to do, but that those would be exceptions and not just the regular rhythm of how we live our lives. And so I think it's really beautiful when we can be people who are dependable, when we can be people where when we say yes, that people can trust that that means yes, and that when we say no, people can trust that that means no. So commitment is a really beautiful love the verb attribute that we can really gift people around us by people who mean what we say and be dependable to do them. And so as we've been going through these love the verb attributes, I would love to hear from you. We've gone through all 8. Is there a love the verb attribute that sticks out the most to you? Is there one that's really easy for you? Maybe patience is really easy for you, or is there one that's challenging and that you would love some help to work towards? Maybe for you that is commitment, or maybe it's forgiveness, or maybe it's kindness, and I would also love to hear from you. So as always, as your chaplain, I'm here to be a confidential listening ear 24/7, 365, whenever you may need. It can either be in person at an office, it could be a video meeting, it could be over the phone, but would love to have some time to spend with you and just to hear how things are going. So my contact information is located at the end of each video and also in the description below. I hope that you have an absolutely marvelous week ahead. I want to remind you that God, our CEO, cares about you deeply, and we'll talk again real soon.